Hi everybody watching, this is Jeremy Becker. I'm the DCE at St. Paul Lutheran Church in Weston, Florida. And tonight we're trying something new. We're trying a live webinar for the Florida-Georgia District. I have the privilege of being a part of the District Youth Ministry Council. And the council had done a survey. They did a survey last spring and found out a lot of information from all of you. Namely, some of that information was how do we help our leaders, both volunteer and paid professional leaders at our churches, help take groups to events like the middle school youth gathering. So tonight we're gathered here to talk a little bit more about that. We are using some free equipment to do this, and I'm live in Weston, Florida, and Leslie Leonard is live from Largo, Florida. And so the two of us are trying to communicate with each other, but also to communicate with all of you live listening to us right now or in the future. So tonight what we're going to do is we're going to let Leslie kind of talk through a few things about the middle school youth gathering. Leslie is the chair for the middle school youth gathering for the district. And so she's got a whole bunch of information that she's going to share. If you're watching live, you can actually click onto the YouTube link off of the Florida-Georgia District webinar page, and there's in the right-hand column you can type in your questions there if you have any questions live. So that would be the way to do it. Otherwise, Leslie, the floor is yours, and we would love to hear all about the middle school youth gathering.
All right, thank you, Jeremy. I'm excited that we're able to do this kind of cool technology thing and get the information out there in yet another way for all the people in the Florida-Georgia District. So we're super excited for that. We are just excited that in a pretty short amount of time, we're going to have everybody with us. In fact, I even have a countdown on my phone. I should have looked that up. The countdown says that it is just let's see. Of course, it has to tell me. Let's see. It is 63 days away. So no pressure there, right? So we're super excited. Our theme this year is Unshaken and Stirred, and it's based on Hebrews 10, 22 through 25. I want to read to you just verse 25. It says, "Let us not give up meeting together, as some are in the habit of doing, but let us encourage one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching." One of those things that we love to do at these gatherings is encourage kids to share their faith. And so part of this webinar is also to encourage all leaders in their ability to come to events like this. And so that's why I wanted to read that verse to you guys, is to just say, we're here to help you no matter what. Myself, our entire middle school gathering committee, Cindy and Mark at the district office, Jeremy and the entire district youth committee, we're all here to help make any event that we put on a success and to help you be successful in the things that you do as youth leaders in your churches. So never hesitate to ask us for help or questions, whether it's here in this webinar or in the future for different things. So with that theme, we're really excited that we'll have Travis Hartgen, who is a pastor in Texas, and he's been to the gathering. I believe this will be his second or third time with us, and he's just a great speaker, really relates to kids very well. And just an all-around, and he's a dad, and he gets what kids are going through, and so we're super excited to have Travis join us. And we're also excited to have Bretta Stone as our band this year. They were just at the National Youth Gathering, so they are fresh off of kind of knowing what we like to do. And so they're going to do music at all of our mass events, and they'll also have a concert on Saturday afternoon as well for everyone to get to go hear some of their original stuff, which is great. So you should also check out their Facebook and their webpage because they do a great job. I kind of want to go through a few of the basic parts of our schedule with you guys, and some other a little bit of info you need to know based on the events on the schedule. Registration begins Friday evening. Anytime after 6:30 you can come, and we will get you connected to your room or your cabin, depending on what you decide to do if you're staying at the camp or if you are staying in the hotels at the camp. And registration is real easy. We have it all set up for you. So all you have to do is come to, what's the name of the building? Of course I can't remember the name of the building. But you come to that building, I think it's Raintree, And
yeah, I think it is, but I can't remember that for sure either, Leslie.
Exactly, right? So it's one of those I kind of automatically know, and I should have written that down. But I believe it's Raintree, and you come there and we get you connected. And we give you your booklets, your t-shirts, all your stuff for the weekend. And then at 9 o'clock that evening, we have our first mass event in the McGuire building. And we're super excited about just getting to start the theme off and the weekend off in just a really cool, impactful way. And then throughout the weekend, we have more mass events. We have breakouts on Saturday. We have 2 opportunities for those, for both the middle schoolers and for our adults. We want to make sure that the youth leaders are also getting fed that weekend with different topics. Travis will lead a topic. We'll have a few other leaders be doing topics for just the adult leaders to help encourage, equip, and help you guys grow in what you're doing. And so we're excited for that, and you'll be able to check all of those different breakouts. They'll be on the website very soon. We're just working out some final details on that, so definitely check out all the different learning opportunities that will be there for you that weekend. We'll also have our regular Saturday afternoon things. After the breakouts of the morning and the early afternoon after lunch, we'll have some games that kids can play outside, but we'll also have servant events. And this year we're doing a little bit more in the servant event department than or a little different, not more, a little different than what we've done. And if you go to the website as well, all the information is on there, and it also gets sent to you in your email as you register. But this year we're doing infant kits. Try saying that fast a few times.
Yeah, you did that pretty good the second time.
I did it better the second time.
Yep.
So you can see the entire list of everything that you need to know on the website. But it's things like onesies and lotion and diapers and just a whole series of those kinds of things, wipes for infant kids. And that is through Amigos de Cristo in Immokalee, I believe. I wrote that down correct, yep. And so we're super excited to do something a little different for that church. And we're also going to do, we've always done a toy drive. Usually it's been Toys for Tots through the Marines. This year we're going to do a different toy drive. And it is for some people who are doing prison ministry. And so we have a very specific set of toys that we can provide for inmates to give to their children while they're incarcerated. And so that's a really neat, impactful moment when a parent who is still trying to be with that child in some way can give them that gift. So you need to check out the website, check out your emails, and get the very specific list of things that you can give to them. I wasn't going to read them all off for you because I think you guys can check that out. But we really have to stick to that list. We can't have anything off of that, otherwise there just won't be enough. There won't be gifts for everyone. So,
hey Leslie,
yes.
That's awesome information, and I know we picked up a few people online since we started. So for those of you that just joined us, I know there's a little bit of a delay in the video to audio. Sorry about that. If you want to ask questions of Leslie, you can do that right from the YouTube link. So if you're watching the live webinar from the Florida Georgia District webpage, you can click on the YouTube link there and go to watch it on YouTube, and then there's questions you can ask on the right. So Leslie, you mentioned in that all the list of things are on the website. Do you have that website handy so people could go to that if they aren't there already?
I do. It is FLGA. Of course, my
District, right? Slow. Yeah, district.org.
Yes. FLGA district.org/MSYG.
Perfect.
For middle school youth gathering. And
okay.
So if you click on that, you can type that in. All the information here, I can even show you. Oh, you can't really see very well. Anyway, as you scroll down the page, it tells you all the different things that we're doing for Amigos de Cristo and the childrenofInmates.org. And, it's things like we don't want to promote toys that are violent, and, so no toy soldiers and things like that. But there's tons and tons of things on this list that any group can get. You can even ask your church at wide for donations and then bring there. And we're going to assemble some things, wrap some things, do things like that. So,
cool.
So yeah.
And besides the opportunity to bring things, is there any extra cost with the servant event?
No.
Okay. Cool. Awesome.
Nope.
All right. Well, thanks for.
We serve until they're going to make the infant kits while they're there. So it's about having enough supplies to make a whole bunch that we can give, kind of like we did with the school supply kits we did last year for Forest Lutheran,
Okay.
Cala. So we just need to have a lot, and that way we can make up a bunch of kits and those kinds of things. And I think there might be one or two small things to be done, but we haven't quite settled on that yet.
Okay.
But there's plenty of other things to do during that time too. During that Saturday afternoon breakout time, we've got some great games that'll be available, and inflatables and all that fun stuff that are going to be a part of it as well, as usual.
Awesome.
So we're excited about Saturday afternoon.
All right. Very cool.
Yep. Saturday evening, we have worship, and then after worship, we have a time of a dance / maybe karaoke party. Kind of excited about that. We'll change. We'll be doing some of the minute to win it type games again, and we'll have pizza and all that fun stuff, and we'll have hopefully a photo booth and other board games and other things that we can do with all the children that Saturday evening. So we're excited to have that. And then Sunday morning is our typical final mass event, where we kind of do ascending, and then it's everybody make their way home for the weekend. So that's the basics of our schedule. One question I know that has come up in the past is, should we eat before we get there and on Friday night? And the answer is probably, because when you get there, we don't have anything. We'll have a snack after the mass event, but nothing before. So definitely make sure your group stops to eat, or you pack something for the road before you get to Lake Yale. You're going to want to eat, because otherwise everyone will be cranky because no one will be eating. So we don't want that. So that's a question I know has come up in the past. Have we had any questions come in, Jeremy, or no?
Yeah, actually, great question of asking that, because we have a few questions here. Okay. One question was about the servant event and bringing infant kits. And yes. One of the questions is, can they bring a check in lieu of bringing infant kits? Their church is doing fundraisers and trying to raise some extra money, and so they would like to bring cash or a check instead of that. Does that help? Is that okay? What do you suggest on that?
Obviously we have an offering that we take that weekend that we then also put out to different parts of the ministries that we help and aid. So I don't see why we couldn't have a check. That is something I would need to confirm with Mark and Cindy in the district office. The other part of that, like I said, is that the money could go towards our offering, which then also helps our scholarship fund, and usually some other ministries that we pick and choose to help with. So maybe. I don't see why we couldn't take money to give to that organization for future use as well.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
But definitely we need items too. So if they are able to use that money to buy things, that might be good.
Yeah, it's a big help. Even if you buy them on your way down, like you stop at the Target or a Walmart and buy a couple packs of onesies before you come. Even if it's not, do donations before you get here if you want to do cash. And then on your way down, maybe have the kids help you shop. That's a possibility.
Okay.
Just different ways to mix it up. But we could definitely, this organization is definitely in the habit of making the kits and giving them out. So right. We want to help them with that.
And then speaking of making the kits, this other person asked just now if they're able to bring their kits assembled. Would you prefer that they don't do that, or bring them so that we can assemble them there as a group, or what do you suggest for that?
We prefer that they don't come assembled, because that way, hopefully, a larger amount of kids would get to help assemble the kits then. That doesn't mean that your group wouldn't sign up to help assemble the kits or be assigned a time.
Right.
But we really would love it if the kids get in the habit of being able to do part of the servant events for the weekend, not just donate to them. So cool. We'd prefer they not come all packaged up and with the bow and all that stuff. But we'd prefer it all be kind of separate. That way we can make the kits up.
Cool. Awesome. Makes sense. And then the only other question right now before we get back into
any other questions?
Yeah, we got one more. So the other one is the examples of games. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. They're interested in some of the examples of what the games will be like during some of that. I guess there was a game last year with a game show with Steve that was a big hit. Do you have any of those specific examples at this point for those games?
The plan is to do some similar things like the big game show that Steve Durheim did last year. So I don't know the specifics of the game show because I didn't even know them going into last year. All I knew was they were safe. Squishy pumpkins and brains and things like that. But no, so I don't have any details on that because we want to keep it a surprise. But I do know he's going to do some of those kind of games, or the minute to win it games. The take as many Kleenex out of the box as you can kind of games and things like that. And like I said, with the dance, we're going to have a little bit of dance music, but we're also open to do some karaoke or lip sync battle kind of stuff, just to change it up and make it a little more fun and interesting for adults and kids to be a part of. So.
All right. Cool. Perfect. I think that helps. All right. You can go on to the next piece. I know you have some stuff to share.
All right. So we kind of got through the basics of the schedule and stuff. Now I want to talk about how to register. Again, if you go to the district website and you click on that registration, there's going to be an area that sends you to register as the PAL, which is the primary adult leader. And what we need the PAL to do is then obviously enter everybody else's names and their own. Sometimes in the past, the PAL has thought that registering just to be the PAL was the registration, and that's not the case. So when you finish your spreadsheet form on the website or on the link that you click on, we need to make sure the PAL is listed on there as well, so that we have accurate numbers. If not, Cindy is going to have to bug you. Cindy Hammerstrom from the district office is going to have to bug you. And not that it's not a joy to get bugged by Cindy, but we definitely want to make her job and the registration process a little more efficient. So that's one of the things to say, is to make sure that your name is not just on that first page when you're registering to be the PAL, but also on the full registration sheet. And so then after you've registered everyone, you just hit submit, and then you can either make a payment on the district website, and there's a section in the payment areas for the middle school gathering, or you can send a check or bring a check to the gathering. We always prefer if we can get that before. It just helps us know what's going on with the money and stuff like that, but do what you need to do. So a question that has also come up in, there's two questions actually. What if you don't have a male or female chaperone, but you have male or female attendees? I guarantee that we always have extra people who can help out. We have other churches that might only have one male or one female, and they're bringing a chaperone, and we can pair you up in housing or just in general to help each other out. So please don't let lack of a male or female chaperone stop you from coming to the gathering or bringing participants to the gathering. We definitely don't want that to be a hindrance. You can call Cindy at the district office. You can email myself or anyone who's related to the gathering, and we'll help you connect with someone to help you chaperone one or the other. The other question that has come up is, can I ride with another group? We encourage that. If that helps you guys get there and save money and do buses or vans, we encourage that. We can also help you by letting you know who might be coming from your area. So we need you to contact us with the question, and then maybe we can help you connect or at least direct you to someone else to try and give a call to see if they're coming. So we want to make sure that everybody can come to these events, and we want to help you get there and make things happen. So we want to help you. Let us help you. Okay?
Awesome. Yeah.
Any questions in that area?
Not so much. There's a few people that were responding still for games that they enjoyed eating out of the diapers last time, which I missed. I'm going to have to make sure I stop by and catch that one. That sounds amazing.
I'm going to write that down for Steve.
Right. So that was good. There's some comments about that are pretty funny. I wasn't aware of some of those from last time, so I missed out. I'm gonna have to check that this time.
Yeah, I didn't catch all of the games either, but I saw the eating food off of the wire thing and pumpkin squishy stuff. And
Nice.
So I know that my kids had a blast doing it. So
I just want to reinforce too. I think through the YFMA Facebook page, and if you're not a part of the YFMA Facebook page, again, you can contact Cindy in the district office, and she can help you get connected with that if you can't find it on Facebook. But that might be a really good way to connect with other churches that are in your region, just to make sure that there's ways that transportation is not a factor for you not to be able to be there. And there's somebody too online that Grace from St. Pete, they are getting a couple buses together, so maybe they have some extra room. There's already some conversations about that going on online already. So
that's great.
Yeah, minimal cost for that bus.
With each other.
Yeah, cool. So there's a minimal cost for that bus to join in on that, and you can see that in the comment section on this video on YouTube, so that might be a way for you to connect. But also the YFMA page, I would encourage you to go there if you know you have extra room or you know you need some extra room. So with that being said, if you're coming from South Florida, Weston, Fort Lauderdale, Miami area, give me a holler. I know we're planning on bringing a group from our church, and if we need to get a bigger vehicle to help bring you guys along, let me know. So
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that's what's neat about, like you said, the YFMA page. And even just having Cindy give you one contact name, possibly, we can make sure that everybody gets there that wants to get there that might have troubles getting there. We want everyone to be able to participate. It's kind of one of our number one goals. So
yeah, very cool. Cool, Leslie. What else? You got anything else about the gathering itself that we need to know about?
Well, I was just going to go into the how do we pay for this event if we need help figuring that part out.
Yeah, great stuff.
Yeah. The event is $155 per person. That's per participant, and so that's adults and youth. That covers everything for the weekend. That covers your lodging and your food. And the food is all 3 meals on Saturday and a Sunday morning, and some snacks in between. And so we want to make sure that everyone knows that that's the cost. There's lots of different kinds of fundraisers you can do. You can do sponsor a child. You can do letters. Lots of different things. I know in our congregation, we have people who always let me know, say, hey, if a kid can't afford something, let us know. We want to make sure that kids can go on these kind of opportunities.
Yeah.
And have great chance to explore their faith and grow in that more. So we have some people who do that. We have our youth always help with our Easter breakfast. So they do that the year before. We have a pumpkin patch we do that helps them pay for it as well. So there's lots of different things you can do that can help your youth and parents and families pay for this event. Again, the YFMA page is a great place to ask for those suggestions, to seek them out. I know this sounds cheesy, but even if you go on Pinterest, there are tons of ideas about fundraisers on Pinterest that you can kind of figure out how that would work for you. But again, if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask myself, or I'm sure Jeremy. Lots of others who kind of do these fundraisers on a year-in, year-out basis are glad to give whatever info or help we can to make those fundraisers happen. We also, through the district, have something called the Sally Serine. I think I said that right.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And I always thought it was Serene. I don't know why. But it's Serine. And if you, on the district website for the middle school gathering, again, towards the bottom, there's an application process for that. And we can give $50 usually per participant that is in need of it. And so we ask you to fill that out. And then there's a small group that approves those. We do try to approve every single one, but we also have a limited amount of funds, and so we ask that that's a needs-based scholarship, not a every participant scholarship. And so, but there's definitely families out there that need the help, and we want to help them as much as possible. So check that out as well. If you have questions about that, lots of ways to contact us and ask those questions.
Yeah, that's terrific. That's terrific. I know at our church, it's tough because trying to have budgets for this in your youth budget is difficult, especially if you've got a good-sized group going. So at our church, we typically ask for the full cost to come from the youth kids. But at the same time, we do have some money in our budget. So what I do with that is I do kind of my own scholarship assisting as needed. And so I typically let my parents know, we want your kids to be here, and if for some reason it's a financial reason why you can't come, talk to me, and we'll work to make sure that it's not. And we do that by, one, applying for that scholarship through the district if we need to, but also there's every once in a while people in my congregation that are really cool about asking me from time to time, are there kids that I can sponsor anonymously? So that was a conversation that somebody started with me years ago, and so I remember to write those names down of people, and when I have a kid who can't pay for theirs, I just go back to that person to say, hey, you mentioned you'd scholarship a kid anonymously. Would you be willing to do that? I have somebody that'd like to go. So there's ways to get creative so that there's a possibility for them to go. So just some things that I've picked up on.
I think we're all of the mindset that none of us want money to be a prohibitive factor for both the kids at our church or anyone in the district. So we want to help you figure it out for sure. So just don't hesitate to ask questions.
Very cool. I got to give a shout out to Abby Moss, who helps kind of lead and facilitate a lot of things with the YFMA stuff. And she said that there's a link actually right there, I think, that she put on the comment section to be a part of the YFMA on the Facebook page. So thanks, Abby, for that. Also, a question about ice cream tickets this year. What do you know about that?
We're working on that.
All right.
We're working on a sponsor for that. So
okay.
If you know somebody who wants to sponsor, let me know. But we're working on that. God's going to provide. He always does to have those kind of special treats and things. We always want to make those happen, but we also have to be cognizant of budget. So, as you guys know, at your churches. So, hopefully we will have that this year. That was a fun thing to have last year.
Very cool. Very cool. So there's a question here too. Any thoughts or suggestion on pre-gathering meetings that you might have with your youth before you come, or with your adults? Do you have any suggestions for that? Do you have any resources for that?
We will have a pre-gathering Bible study. I spoke with our speaker this week, Travis, and that's on his to-do, is to start thinking about that. And actually, I emailed him. I didn't speak with him because we could never connect. But is to have him start putting that together based on some of the things he's going to be presenting that weekend. So that really gets you prepped for the weekend. I think the other thing is one of the great things that I will be doing in confirmation as we get prepared is to dig into the Bible verses, and just take some time and talk about that and ask them what that makes them think about when that comes out. How are we unshaken by this world around us, and how are we then stirred to continue our journey of faith, our growth, both through God's word and through the people around us. And so that's one of those things I'm going to be talking to my youth with, and I'll probably also just at meetings do some fun icebreakers, especially if your group has new people in it, things like that. I like to always do something fun with the middle schoolers to connect them to each other so they feel connected to each other. In my youth group, my kids don't all go to the same middle school, so I have to intentionally help them build their relationships with each other because they don't see each other on a daily basis. Same with my high school group. So I'm always kind of cognizant of that when I'm doing a meeting. The other things I do in a meeting is I just try to get them excited and ready for the weekend. I try to give them as much information without telling them exactly everything that's going to happen, so that some things are kind of a fun surprise for the weekend.
Right.
So,
good.
Was that all of the? Did I get everything? Or?
Yeah, I think that's good. I think one of the other pieces that I try to do is meet with the parents about it, and I just do a 15-minute kind of after confirmation meeting with the parents of the kids that are going. For some of the sixth graders, especially, this is a big or first overnight experience like this away from home. So I try to help put the parents' minds at ease and let them know that besides the adults going from our congregation, there are lots of other DCEs and pastors and teachers and other volunteers that will be at the event to help in case of emergency, and so that's something I talk through with the parents ahead of time too, give them schedules and locations and all the details as well. So
yeah, and we always try to have a nurse or a doctor on site. We've been blessed the last few years to have a doctor who's come with our youth group as a chaperone. Not sure if that's happening this year, but we hope so. And if not, we always try to make sure there's someone on from our group that's there for emergencies on campus. And if not, most of the middle school gathering team is first aid and CPR trained and those kinds of things. So I always just try to reassure parents that the whole weekend is taken care of for them, and that it's just a great event for their kids to start getting used to going on, like for high school events and even National Youth Gathering. It's a good starter kind of weekend for their kids.
Terrific, cool. Well, thanks, Leslie. I think that's about all that I see in terms of questions coming in right now that we're live. So thanks to all those people who tuned in live, who are watching, and those of you who will watch after the fact. And if you need to ask questions of Leslie or myself or find out anything more about the middle school youth gathering, you can definitely connect with us through the YFMA page on Facebook. Would you say that's probably the best way to do that?
Yeah, I'd say so.
All right, cool. And if you have questions of Cindy in the district office, she can help you with registration stuff if you have those questions also. So you can contact her, go to the Florida, Georgia, FLGA District.org webpage, and you can connect through there. So thanks, Leslie, for your time. I appreciate it. Thanks for your leadership and your team. You guys are amazing. We're excited and looking forward to seeing you in November.
Yes, I'm excited for everyone to come and see it come together again.
Cool. Bye, everybody. Have a good one.
Bye.